So the third mistake that most people have, that most people make when, the third mistake that most people make that kill their webinar sales is they leave their audience overconfident in their own abilities to execute. Overconfident in their own abilities to execute. The very first digital product that I launched was in the engineering career development space. And I was teaching people how to level up their careers. I had learned at that point, this is 2014, at that time I had learned to tease the webinar, right? Give them a sample of what you know, and they'll want to get the rest of it. They'll want the whole enchilada. So here I am, career development expert. I said, okay, well, what is one thing I'm really great at? Well, at that point, every single interview that I had landed, I had turned into a job offer. I was batting 1,000 with like 20 different examples. So I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? On the webinar, I'll talk about how to ace your job interview. So what I do is I spend 45 minutes teaching all the steps to acing your job interview, and then at the end, I'd say, if you like this, you're going to love my full-blown career development program. Well, without fail, every single time that happened, what do you think was the number one piece of feedback that I got at the end of the webinar from people who didn't buy? Yeah, cool. Thanks, Joel. I'm going to go execute, and I'll come back later. Like, ugh. Right? So the problem was I diminished their need for my help. Let me go implement, and I'll come back. Okay? So the solution now is if you use a host to guide the interview, this prevents it from ever happening. Right? You'll never teach too much because you'll always be in a position of authority. If I've got a guest over here and I'm a host, like a typical InfoCast style is, right? The number one desire that they want is they want to get closer to the expert. But guess who's standing in the way? The host. If I'm standing up and I'm giving a monologue presentation designed to sell, they're already close to me. I'm teaching them directly. But teaching through inference, having a host in between is almost like the bodyguard. So you've got this barrier to entry that, yeah, they're going to learn from this expert. They're going to learn from the guest, but there's still that barrier to entry that is a natural desire to want to get closer. So there's a less of a tendency to be like, oh, I already know as much as I can get from this person. It's more so positioning and authority.